Wrestling fans, you're watching Rampage Pro Wrestling, and we've been talking about this. The Rampage Cup Tag Team Tournament now begins. The first round match, the first match in the Tag Team Tournament is going to feature the current reigning NWA RPW Tag Team Champions. We're talking about the team of Charlie Cash's Cash Ball.
The only contest is scheduled for one fall is a non-title match in the first round of the tournament.
And I see Barney Chant.
Introducing first, they are
Barney
accompanied to the ring by Charlie Cash, representing the Cash Vault, Rob Adonis, and Hit for Hire, Bobby Moore.
And interesting that the tag team champions entering this tournament already establishing that they're the best in Rampage Pro Wrestling until they're beaten. But now wanting to be the best anywhere because teams from everywhere are coming. We said next week on this program, the team from Ring of Honor is going to be here. The team of Caprice Coleman and Cedric Alexander taking on next week the first time teaming of Jimmy Rave and Kyle Matthews. You want to make plans to be here next week for that tournament match in the Rampage Cup. But now we wait for the opponents in the first round. And this match, a main event anywhere, right here in the first round of the Rampage Cup. And here comes the Triple Crown winner, J-Rod, the man who's held all the titles.
In his own right, sort of a Triple Crown winner, although it was the Cruiserweight title, the television title, tag titles. In the case of Frankie Valentine, champions united here.
J-Rod!
These guys have been in Rampage Pro Wrestling for a long time and certainly representing what Dot would like to have in Rampage Pro Wrestling. These are two guys that could win the cup and really well represent Rampage Pro Wrestling and that cup.
I want to remind the fans the titles are not on the line in this tournament match.
But certainly if they get a win over the champions later on down the road, that time J-Rod not even waiting for the guy to turn around. He knows how these guys are. He's going to meet them where they are.
Well, there's been a lot of history already between these two teams. In fact, as recently as Memorial Mayhem, I believe.
Caught him with a boot, now an elbow to the back of the head of J-Rod. Off the ropes comes Bobby Moore. Cut off with a fist to the midsection, and tag is made. Frankie comes in. High knee grip by Frankie Valentine.
We've seen that kind of move before by the officer, haven't we?
Yes, we have. Short forearms there by Frankie Valentine. Arm reversal by Bobby Moore. Into the corner, charging in.
Nobody home.
Frankie moves out of the way, and quick tag by J-Rod.
In position is Moore. J-Rod comes across, double knees to the chest of Bobby Moore. Bobby Moore being worn out, but doesn't it seem like that's what happens? Hicks tries to pick him up. That's a big man. Moore doesn't get all of him there, and Moore's able to get out of the way. Both men miss, but it's J-Rod on his feet first as Moore comes up, catches a kick. Now a punch, another punch to the side of the head. Tags in Frankie Valentine again. Bobby Moore, we've seen almost every tag match the Cash Vault do, gets in and seems to take a wicked beating from the teams he's up against, but it always seems at some point his resiliency shows through and he manages to find a way to make the tag for Adonis and have control of his man.
And that's why they probably are still the NWA RPW Tag Team Champions. But I noticed as J-Rod and Frankie Valentine start this match, these guys are on acceleration. They are ready for this tournament. They are geared up, and they know they have to be on their A game to beat the champions.
Well, they lost an opportunity to become tag team champions in their last encounter. This time those titles aren't on the line, but a lot of prestige is they might move. One of these teams, and only one, can move to the second round. Spear takes Valentine not only down, but out to the floor, and that's no man's land with the big man, Rob Adonis there. Adonis now goes after Frankie Valentine as J-Rod is held back in the ring by Dustin Robinson. Valentine tossed in relatively gingerly by Rob Adonis, but there's Bobby Moore waiting, and now Moore is able to take over right there.
Don't you know, Bill, that Charlie Cash would love to take that cup, that Rampage Cup, and put it on his mantelpiece. He would love to have more prestige, more honor for his Cash Vault. More money is what it's all about for Charlie Cash.
Given the size of the cup, Charlie Cash would probably use it to enjoy beverages.
Probably would. I wouldn't doubt it at all. A couple of boots now. Frankie Valentine being cut off.
Is it that Charlie Cash's hat is small or that he's big?
Maybe he's shrink. Maybe what's going on? The hat's shrinking? Caught him with a forearm there.
Tags in the big man, throws in Frankie Valentine, down and vulnerable as Franken. Oh my gosh.
And again,
full
here's that
body weight.
Using your man to sacrifice. That's what it's all about with these guys. They are successful because they do it the way that they know how. And they take care of business in that ring. Adonis, I don't always like them, but they are successful.
Very much so. Adonis very deliberate in his actions here, taking his time. Smart for the big man to do so. He has a clear advantage in the ring, size and more likely than not experience against Frankie Valentine as he picks him up hard, sets him up for a powerbomb. But Frankie Valentine always fighting back, somehow rolls through that, and well, I thought he was going to. Not so much. Oh. Pump handle takes him over hard.
Did you see the power of Rob Adonis just pull the man up from a possible sunset flip position? And that takes a lot of power. Rob Adonis is a big man.
Now throws Valentine again outside the ring into no man's land. Charlie Cash on the floor, not moving over, but there goes Bobby Moore as Cash moves in the way, making sure the referee, from his perspective, does his job.
And now it's Rob Adonis throwing him back into the ring. And again, Bobby Moore now covers him. This could be it right here. No, not enough. But certainly a lot of damage has been done to Valentine. But Valentine, one thing that's predominant about him is he is a fighter in every match he's in. He has a lot of heart. Not the biggest man in the ring, but maybe the biggest heart.
Well, with that back elbow, then forced down, didn't hook the leg, Bobby Moore, and Frankie Valentine able to kick out.
At that time, psychological warfare as he tries to get J-Rod in. Exactly what he wanted, tosses him out to the floor now. And Charlie Cash is out there, but Rob Adonis again has been pretty slow about throwing them back in the ring and not really taking full advantage like we know he could do. Wait a minute now.
Oh,
that time.
Full body weight, exposes him fully and then throws him right into that hard ring apron. Unforgiving is that ring apron. That's just solid metal all the way around.
Dotting the eye, so to speak, of Frankie Valentine. That had to take a lot out of this young man. As Bobby Moore, not a small individual himself, plants those boots firmly. And now you see he's trying to fight back, powering away now and going for his partner, but not close enough to break the tag. Again, the Barney chants continue, and him wearing purple does not help it.
Headbutt takes down Valentine, forces him back to the corner. J-Rod's totally losing his cool at this point over in the corner. He's been isolated. The referee doing his job has had to spend more time with J-Rod than he has paying attention to what's going on to Frankie Valentine. J-Rod's not helping his partner.
And J-Rod now trying to get the referee to turn around, but he's focusing on J-Rod on the floor. Hit for hard. Bobby Moore with a fist to the head of Frankie. Now throwing Frankie back in, throwing him to the wolves, so to speak. Rob Adonis is waiting. And J-Rod had enough, went over there and popped Bobby Moore. And meanwhile, look at poor Frankie. He's in that corner and there's no partner. Rob Adonis just teasing J-Rod there. Just playing psychological warfare.
Well, you got to wonder whether J-Rod is going to figure out that he's really not helping his partner by losing his cool. He went all the way around, and just when Frankie had an opportunity to tag, nobody was home. If I were Frankie Valentine, I'd get together with J-Rod. If they manage to get to the second round or into the first round or into the second round of this tournament, they really got to get together better as a team.
Well, having a hot head does not help you.
Well, right now the better team in this match has been the Cash Vault.
And they are the champions, and they want to move on and prove why they are the tag team champions by beating all tag teams in the tournament. And again, a 2 count, not enough, but certainly very close. I really thought that Bobby Moore may have had him finished off there. Now has those arms wrapped around him. Now cuts off that breathing here on Frankie Valentine. Cinched in across the waist. And of course, Bobby Moore, the larger man, controlling him with the weight. But Frankie, look at Frankie. The blood rushing to his head. Elbow smashes to the head, off the ropes. Clothesline by Bobby Moore.
Oh, and takes him almost out of his socks on that one. All the way over goes Valentine. He looks like he could be out, Ben.
180 turn there, and now covers him, lateral press. I don't think he needs to hook the leg, but somehow some way Frankie Valentine got that shoulder up. I don't know how he did it. He almost decapitated the man with that clothesline. And now it's Bobby Moore pretty much moving in for the kill with that driving headbutt. Remember, NWA World Heavyweight Champion Handsome Harley Race, very effective with that headbutt. Double ice hand on out to the back by Bobby Moore.
Also, the Dynamite Kid used to use that very effectively back in the day.
Yes, he did. Now a close fist blocked by Valentine. Retaliation by Frankie. Oh, cut off with that big boot by hit for hire Bobby Moore.
Look at Frankie. Frankie, always aware where he is in the ring. He sees, his mind knows what it needs to do. His body unwilling to do it for him at this point after the punishment that he's taken at the hands of the Cash Vault. Forced again back into the corner by Bobby Moore, and Moore just lands another solid punch to the side of the face. Valentine reeling, barely able to keep his footing, if that. Knocked again with a forearm and another forearm, but no, Frankie Valentine maintains a base. I don't even know if he knows where he is. Comes off with a kick, and he now is going for the tag, only to be grabbed and pulled right back into Moore, but elbow after elbow tries to make it. He makes the tag, but now again, Dustin Robinson, preoccupied by Rob Adonis, does not see it.
And Frankie Valentine just being obliterated over here in the corner by the tag team champions, the Cash Vault. And J-Rod made that tag, but it doesn't count. The referee calls it as he sees it. Referee is a thankless job, often not a popular job. But remember, this guy was referee of the year, and there had to be a reason. Dustin Robinson's a great official. He can't call when he doesn't see Bill.
Very much so, and they're Cash Vault working beautifully together, preoccupying the referee, preoccupying the man in the ring. Seem to be one step ahead of Frankie Valentine and J-Rod this entire match. They've learned a lot about how to manipulate J-Rod when he's outside the ring. Have you noticed that?
They absolutely do. And I'm worried about Frankie right now, Bill. He's like having convulsions in the ring. His body is shaking. And we're going to have to either stop this match soon, or Frankie's going to have to get some help, because, I mean, he is all but out of it right now.
I would totally agree with you, Ben. Now J-Rod can't stand it anymore.
Did he hit the
blows
referee
through.
accidentally?
Referee managed to get out of the way, it looked like to me, but J-Rod, not paying any attention, is now just landing blow after blow, and comes in with the knee, neck breaker. Now there's Rob Adonis, and Adonis throws him into the corner. Now this match is broken down completely. Dustin Robinson had control for a while, but he's losing control now.
And this is why they're so effective. Great tag team they are. At that time, caught with a knee, and the big man goes out to the floor. And J-Rod's telling Frankie to get up. I don't know if Frankie can get up. Full low forearm by J-Rod. This is just the first round of the Rampage Cup Tag Team Tournament.
Drop kick to the legs, takes down the big man Moore. I don't know where that came from. Valentine managed to get a little bit of energy. Now J-Rod out with a knee solidly to the face of Rob Adonis. Did you see that?
He caught him hard as he came over that rope down to the concrete floor. And now Frankie with a little wind, caught though by Bobby Moore, and cut him off hard.
Moore now ready, lands a blow. Moore has him in a vulnerable position.
Watch
comes
out,
across.
Frankie. No way! Sunset flip! Frankie rolls him over. Frankie got him! Frankie Valentine! And J-Rod will advance into the second round of the Rampage Cup Tag Team Tournament. The title doesn't change hands, but guess what? The champions just got beat. The winners and advancing into the second round of the Rampage Cup Tag Team Tournament. The team of J-Rod and Frankie Valentine. Talk about champions. These guys are champions without titles right now.
Very much so, but the most important thing is they move to that second round in the tag team tournament.
Will they win it all?
Well, we'll find out also whether another team makes it to the second round. That'll be our main event next week on television. We're done with this week, but remember, fans, Caprice Coleman, Cedric Alexander against Jimmy Raven, Kyle Matthews, next week's main event. You're going to want to be here.
That's the show not to miss. Fans, Rampage Pro Wrestling's on fire. We'll see you next week for more RPW.